Michigan Liberation is a statewide network of people and organizations organizing to end the criminalization of black families and communities of color in Michigan. We envision a state without mass incarceration, mass policing, and punishment. We envision a state with the best public education in the nation, single-payer health care, and thriving black and brown communities. Here on the Respect the Roots podcast, we will lift up the stories and experiences of those impacted by mass incarceration, collective ties to the criminal legal system, and the frontline efforts to end mass incarceration.
Well, everybody, you joining us for the part 2 of Leon Benson's interview and everything. And Leon, I didn't even tell Leon, just to keep it raw and real. We usually do 28, minutes as far as episode. And I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna have Leon come in, boom, boom, boom. He's gonna be in and out. And man, this brother started telling his testimony, and I was like, man, I knew within probably about 15 minutes, I was like, we about to go for a part 2. And maybe what we gonna end up doing, Marvin suggested we need to get a bunch of y'all in here, you brothers in here, to do a round table and everything. That was something he said it would be cool to get several people on the mic and everything. But Leon, for those of you who are just joining us, Leon is the CEO of 448 Productions. But man, his history, his story is unbelievable. This brother did 24 years, 7 months, and 9 days in a state, right? You said?
Yeah, state prison.
State prison in Indiana. And of that, 24 years, 9 years were in solitary confinement. I had to get that right, get that out of my tongue. So, Leon, you was telling us the difference in the first episode between just being in prison versus solitary confinement, like the belly of the beast and everything. And can you explain to us more in depth, like, is it you just didn't have any cellmates? Like, were you, because, in the movies you see people, they make it so grimy and, was it small, or how was, paint the picture for us.
Well, it was a one-man cell in the security housing unit of Wabash Valley, the SHU. And it's arranged with 6 cells at the bottom and 6 cells on the top. Now, you can hear people talk. We can talk over the airways, but you have no human contact. These airways is small. You can stick your hands out like this and touch both walls. And it's probably double that distance from the back end to the front of the cell. You got your sink, your toilet. So this is the equivalent of living in a bathroom. Your bathroom is your kitchen, is your shower,
right? Is
your bed and everything, So it was very small, and it was very psychological. That's why I said, I was sent there to be destroyed. It's obvious. I was a young person. I'm like, I've never been through this, so I had to figure it out. Guys were losing their mind. Things I never seen before. People throwing feces and urine on each other. People cussing each other out over the range. People committing suicide. The guards beating on people. They ran on me 2 times. Like I told you, I thought I was that tough guy.
Right.
I thought I was. They ran in on me 2 times, boy. They kicked my butt. I was like, nah, we can't do that. I can't win like that. So I had to start thinking smarter. So what happened inside there in this womb of the beast that was meant for me to gestate into a monster or into something lesser than what I was, a human being, I took that chance in that moment and transformed that. That cell wasn't a cell no more. That tomb, it was a womb, but not the womb that they wanted it to be for me to birth me. So I changed that into a rebirth for myself. So that cell became a university. It became, a legal firm. That cell became a concert stage to motivate my brothers that was on the range. It became, a debate stage. It became an exercise booth. It became a meditation booth, right? And I learned that there. And that's where, the real battle of my wrongful incarceration really started and was won. I won it there, and you definitely need spirituality. For me, I studied everything. everything
Every
that I could.
everything, every
Every
religion.
religion, because I was denied school. So like my hero was Frederick Douglass. Like when you read the story of Frederick Douglass, he fought for education. And I thought the same way. I was like, man, once you know the language, they can no longer deceive you.
Right.
So I started learning the language of communicating, of history, of science, of politics, of economics and entertainment and space. And, just because I was denied it. I was miseducated. Our public schools were undermined. And I was like, one of the reasons I'm here, I was functionally illiterate of the law. So I didn't want to be like that no more. I didn't want to be in a room and not know what's going on no more. So I ate, and I love to learn to this day. But it started, right there with like my heroes again. Frederick Douglass is somebody, we need to do a movie on him. This brother emancipated his mind first and then broke them chains. Right. So, that's how it happened. Eventually I got off. I went back to population. I'm still fighting my case the whole time, everywhere, and, long story short, I became a mentor while I was on the inside. So I was able to teach, brothers, how to write. I was able to teach brothers and sisters who corresponded with me, different things about spirituality, about hope, about history. And, I was able to develop, several programs. And when I was in there and I found my spirituality, as an Israelite, and I say Israelite just a matter of factly, because you need not to be a Hebrew to be an Israelite. You see what I'm saying? I want to change that narrative because we get so blocked up in this racism thing. And when I go back and I look at the Bible, I did all my history, it's people of color that's there. So I'm like, I had a chance to reclaim, part of my culture,
Right.
that we them chosen people, and to do it right and love all people. So I took that spirituality out and
Right.
helped my brothers and sisters. And while I was in population through the phone or through programming.
Right. So now, Leon, now tell us this, to go even deeper, you're in. Do you know that, well, let's go back, the 24 years, how did you finally figure out this is going to be more than a couple of years? I mean, you already did the solitary confinement. That was 9 years. So when did was there ever a time where you knew, okay, it's going to be 24 years? Because Marvin, when in his podcast episode was saying he didn't know, until like 4 days of when he was going to be released.
So for me, like, while I was in there, everything is dictated between your appeals. So you're like, I'm gonna be going home after this appeal. We gonna see what's,
right.
Dang, they denied me again, but I got another appeal going. So my timelines was like that with getting out as the time kept stacking though. So like in 18, I exhausted all my remedies, and just to be frank, I was locked in. I had to do the whole 60 years. Now, my only way to get out then was to appease the courts with the good behavior. I had 10 years, good behavior, all the programming. And, I was going to try like that. But, I got lucky to bump into a woman named Shannon Coleman. She reached out to me after advocating for my clemency, something that don't never get granted, but I just tried it anyway. And through this avenue, right, seemingly like fruitless avenue, I got connected with this elder that's from Philadelphia who helped another gentleman get exonerated. And she, introduced me to some people. And eventually, my case is on the table of the Conviction Integrity Unit, right, in Indianapolis, Indiana. So they looked over my case. They took it. Shannon again knew a lawyer by the name of Laura Bazeline, who also was a Philly native, but was working in San Francisco, as a professor and a lawyer and the director of the Racial Justice Clinic.
Right.
And she took my case, and the rest is history. They done their thing. They got the detective in my case to confess to withholding evidence. He withheld evidence of a confidential informant who was on the scene and seen the crime and left a statement and saying that the same person did it as the witness that they didn't bring to trial said did it, you know. And we eventually got him in the appeal court, and he told his story. They still rejected. It was like, we don't believe him. It wasn't for y'all to believe, you know. They just wanted to punish me. But at that time, once I got that statement from the detective, this was like 2002, like November. I was like, it can be any day. You know what I mean?
Oh man! And so you knew you could see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I seen the light. I'm like, it's gonna be any day, right? You know, all my people, they was nervous, they was getting antsy, and I tell you, you know, it kind of make me feel emotional because there's so many different players that helped this happen, and it becomes a miracle. And the miracle really ain't no miracle. It's just the power of people working together. You know, common unity equals community. And it was a community that formed on behalf of justice and for my freedom. And the last element of that community was a judge named Shatrice Flowers, right? Now, I'm going to be real, right? You know, I'm going to throw a little humor in there, right? I'm going to be real. Like, I heard the judge named Shatrice, right? I was like, man, I'm going home. You know, I'm like, a judge? I'm like, man, I've been in here so long. Hey, the hood that made it in the courtroom. I'm like, hey, I'm finna go home. Y'all tripping. They was like, I don't know, Leon.
Latrice, if you watch it, shout out to Latrice, right? Judge Honorable Latrice.
Honorable. Let me tell you something, though. Let's say when you said that Shatrice Flowers, hear you, that sister died.
Are you serious?
She died. I went to her funeral a couple months ago. I didn't get a chance to meet her. But in Indiana, that move was so big. She went against everything. She seen justice, and she hit her gavel, man. Let Leon Benson go. Race everything. This was an injustice. And, you know, we put our petitions in, and it was epic. But without her doing that, because this is precedent for Indiana, right? So right. I walked out the door, right? A guy who all his appeal avenues was exhausted.
How many appeals, Leon?
Man, I appeal my direct appeal, my PCR, my appeal of the PCR, the appeal of the appeal of the PCR. You know what I mean?
You was appealing.
Clemencies, you know what I mean? I was appealing. I was like a banana. I was appealing, you know. So it was a thing. But so when that happened, you know, boom. When they called me, they was like, Leon Benson, you need to come to the. I'm like, bro, that's me right there. When they called my name, Leon Benson, come to the front. I just, you know, I was like, bro, that's me. I'm finna go. I was reading Jay Prince, The Art of Respect at the time before I was leaving, and I was like, and they said, hey, pack your bags. You got immediate release. You've been immediately released. I'm like, man, for real? And they was salty, right? They was so really. Oh, you know, people crazy. They so used to people being in there. They was salty, right? I started to pull a David Chappelle, right? I mean, you got to bleep this out. But I almost was like, Wu-Tang, bitch. Like, I did a David Chappelle. I wanted to do that so bad, but
that's fine, right?
My
yeah.
integrity was like, you know what? I didn't fought the real fight. You know, I'm a real soldier. You know, I've been tested. I'm certified. I don't need to do that. You know, let me move on. Let me walk out of here with grace.
Right.
Because I beat y'all in a different way. See, I beat the system, not in the sense of me just getting my justice, but I beat what the system tried to do to me systematically. It tried to destroy me. It tried to take my being, my humanness from me. It tried to take my mind. But when I came out, I'm like 1,000 times, you know, better. But that don't take away what was done. And I'm still affected, you know, by it. And I seen my sister Valerie Buford, you know, she's from Flint, Michigan, live in the Detroit area now. My biggest family supporter, you know, my brother Roderick, you know, my sister Siobhan and Rhonda, you know, I did have some family support in there,
Yeah.
throughout the way. But I had so many supporters from different chapters, here and there that was with me, that put that fight up with me. And what I want to say, I thank each and every one of you. And I want to encourage, for people in the community, small acts of kindness is the biggest ripple that you can make, in the ocean of justice, of love, of peace, unity. So do your part. And they did, and it transformed my life. I'm free right now talking to Marjon.
Yes. If you just listening, hey, I'm talking to Leon, all right? Leon Benson. This brother is the CEO of 448 Productions, but let me tell you, he did 24 years, 7 months, 9 days, and of that time, 9 years in solitary confinement. But the thing is now, Leon, we got about 12 minutes, man. I knew this was gonna go by real. I'm telling you, I almost see part 3 and 4, but I'm gonna have to get all of y'all back in here. But here's the thing, Leon. I want you now to spend the next, 10 minutes telling us, you got your day that you're gonna be, released.
Yeah.
And walk us through what was it like, life after lockup. Real talk.
So life after, if I can give you guys like a metaphor, for some people that's in physics, like when the sun blow up, it turns into a black hole. And that's called an event horizon. So prison was like an event horizon. It just pulled me in. But no scientist on earth knows what's on the other end of the black hole of the event horizon. But in this sense, I'm telling you, I'm the result of the other end of the black hole, the event horizon. Life after that, coming through, you got a lot of expectations for people in society. You excited. Like I said, I got exonerated March 9th of 2023. And, my people was there. It was great. I love all my people that was there. People that supported me in Indiana, like IDOC Watch. They were there, along with my lawyers, my daughter Kobe. It was epic. So as I make this re-entry through, I'm happy just to be free. But in society, it's a lot different. With me coming out, you become a fifth wheel. It's like the slaves were sitting waiting to get free for so long, and once the freedom came, it was like, that wasn't on me. It was society. Like, people was looking at me like, oh, this affected my family. It's like, man, you like really out. Like, I'm like, look at my letter. Like, didn't you see what I was doing? They like, oh yeah, but you out though. Like,
they were, so not only were you impacted, your family.
My family was
because they
impacted.
I hate to say it, used to you being locked up.
You said it.
And now you're out, and you've only been out, Leon, for how long now? About several months, right?
Yeah.
But okay,
about
so
7 months.
Yeah, you do your math.
Oh yeah, 8 months.
8 months. And
going on 9.
Yeah. So everybody that's looking, watching, whatever you doing, while you trying to clean up or what, while you listening to this podcast episode, he's been out 8 months. That's real. And see, there's somebody else that's gonna hear this or see it, Leon, and they're gonna be like, my brother Leon. They gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel because they hear your testimony.
Definitely, and it is light, but it's difficult. Even when you go for your dreams, everything ain't peaches and creams. You have to really adjust. You don't know what you don't want till you know what you don't want. You haven't seen a lot of things. I'm gonna say, if I could give a perspective, you got triggers. Your main trigger would be overstimulation. Right? Overstimulation is a good phone call from a friend. Hey, man, I ain't heard from you. Like, oh, man, like, oh, hey. And you trying to remember all this stuff. You like, dang, did somebody walk up on you? Hey, man, what's up? You like, oh, man. So you going through this ping pong of emotions, of downloading, of learning. Because you relearning things. You wasn't touching people. You wasn't driving cars. And then the technology is another curve that you got to get with. And then you got to deal with microaggression. A microaggression moment would be somebody would invite you to dinner, and you would be at dinner looking at the menu, and there's so many choices. You like, dang, and you like,
How you doing, Lee? You looking at
Right? You looking at them because,
appetizer?
right? Advertisers, and then people. The microaggression would be, "Come on, man, you gonna hurry up? I mean, come on, man, hurry up."
Yeah, hurry up and place your order.
Right, but you like, I'm going through something, and I want
Right.
people to know that it's hard. Re-entry is hard, coming through. I got in a small employment right now. I work temporary. I got a temporary job, right now, part-time rather. But I make my money by, speaking or performing. Uh, I'm using, my experience, to help the community. I lobby, I'ma always speak out, for the brothers
Yeah.
and sisters that's left behind. And, I write up petitions for people that I know that was in the inside that's innocent. So I'm definitely fighting, for them and for everybody that's just as impacted, I suggest anybody getting out, if you can get into a justice healing retreat, get around, people that have similar experiences so you can hear their stories, because it's really hard to talk to people outside of the impacted community that can truly help you. They don't understand. They don't got the patience for you. And they just don't know. You can't hold that against them. They just don't know. But it is places out there like the organization Exonerees.
Yeah.
We go there. That was really big. Like you see Marvin, Cotton Jr., Kenneth Nixon, Eric Anderson, those brothers, I had contact with them. I've been in several of their meetings. I'm a member, and
Yeah.
I'm always welcome when I go there. The National Organization of Exonerees with Larry Smith. Larry Smith, he helped me out a lot with understanding stuff, with being an exoneree, and with him, running a community center, in Southwest Detroit. And, I mess with the Kingsmen, Eric Washington, this guy out of Minnesota.
Yeah. Eric's been on the podcast.
Oh, he been on the podcast?
He was on season 1. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Eric. I attend the meetings every chance I get it. I at least twice a month. It's every Sunday, but we got a thread, so it's a lot of stuff going on. But I say the hardest thing is, people getting used to you, right? Because here it's a different thing. It's like sink or swim. I really don't care. Then competition. Oh yeah, people compete with me. I'm too smart for my own good.
Right.
Prison guy, and they try to minimize what you can do, not knowing all the training and stuff that you did. Like on the inside, I was the president of my Toastmaster club.
Go ahead,
right?
Leon.
I trained college students like for 3 semesters. They came through IUPUI. I created my own curriculum, changing lives through literacy, where I was able to teach Frederick Douglass and the Willie Lynch letter to Aryan Brotherhoods or anybody else that opposed to what it means to be human or a person of color, and I cherish those things, but I got a lot of skills out of that. I was able to perform while I was inside, so.
Wow. So Leon, well, 2 things before we head out. We got about 4 minutes. I want you to give your contact information where people can reach you. You don't have to give your number, but your social media, however you want people to contact you, because somebody's going to hear this episode or both episodes and they're going to want to reach out to you, at least on social media and everything, whatever you feel comfortable giving out.
Oh, definitely. Hey, it'll be my pleasure. You can reach me at www.leonbenson.org. That's my professional page. You will find out all the things that I'm doing, all the things I've did, and how you can hire me for the services that I provide. I'm also the CEO of 448 Productions. It's a record label and it's a creative consulting company. So, if you need help with public speak, I can help you public speak. With performing arts, I can help you with that. I can help you with project management. I can help you with creative projects in film, publication, music, plays. So, reach out to me and use this unique talent that I have. I love to help you out. You can find me on Instagram at EL_BENTLY_448. And you can find me on Facebook Leon Benson, and you probably the most handsome Leon Benson out there. So when you see me, you see this face, you know what I mean? You see this face like, boom, you know what I mean? Hey, am I an ugly dog after going through that? They got me messed up. Wait, hold up.
He's easy on the eye, as my grandma would say, right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Now, Leon, we got about 2 minutes, and we got to go out with a bang. Food for thought for that brother or sister who's watching or listening. What words of encouragement, or whether they're inside or getting ready to get out, or they've been out for a period of time, what do you want them to know?
I would tell them this: remember, truth never dies; it's only rediscovered. But you got to put in that work to get it. So therefore, embrace the things within your reach, and eventually, you will hug the sun at the heights of your success. That's the best thing that you can do. It got to come from self. Then other people, they'll come along, have faith in the higher power. And the higher power ain't in looking up. It's in looking within.
Wow. Man, that's deep. That's deep. Thank you so much, Leon. We love you. We appreciate you at Michigan Liberation. Like I said, you came to our meetings, and it's so funny how it's such a small world. We had Marvin Cotton in here, Eric, and his team. Actually, a couple of the brothers. We did it was about 4 or 5 of them in an interview and everything. And I've been to the meetings on Sundays. And,
Okay.
And you're so right. I was totally blown away that that he dedicates his time to speaking. Like it was like a support group.
Yeah.
Event session.
Yeah.
I mean, brothers really were coming in with different things, and what you may go through one week, somebody else may be going through the next week and everything. So I thank you so much, Leon. I know this ain't gonna be the last time. Hey, and we want to give a special shout out to Booker T. If he's Booker T, I know you watching. He always is pumping you up in our little feed. He was like, "Yo, Leon went to New York and Brooklyn. Yeah, you guys went to New York and everything." So
yeah. I'm also an artist with Freer Records. My handle is L Bentley 448. Be looking for that album too, The Book of La Vie, produced by me under 448 Productions. is very big. But Booker T, he's that guy, the elder Booker T. Walker, heard him speak, and what I heard was them roots, them deep roots.
Oh, there you go. What? Respect the roots. What you say?
Hey, respect the roots, them
All
deep
right.
roots, right?
All right, y'all. Until next time, y'all, I want y'all to what? Respect the roots.
The roots, you hear me?
Don't do nothing else. You better respect it, right?
Forget the fruit. Respect the roots.
All right, y'all. Till next time, me and Leon gonna stay here and kick it a little bit more. But y'all make sure you tune in to part 1 and 2 of his podcast episode here on Respect the Roots. All right, take care. Till next time. Michigan Liberation Education Fund, C3, conducts grassroots organizing, leadership development, and civic engagement activities. Michigan Liberation C4 and Michigan Liberation Action Fund, IE, are sister organizations.